Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Bortles' Jaguars going up against Wilson Seahawks. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup. With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Seattle Seahawks. They come out here in the eye. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball. And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Now the fourth-year man from Texas A&M, Christine Michael. A gain of 3, second down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Now Wilson on second down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Wilson throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They run again with Michael. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On the run, this is Michael. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Christine Michael, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. How Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Play fake here on first down. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's second down. And the box that's highlighted is for Hearns on this offense.
Do you have your track shoes available? Because Allen Hearns is a guy that gets you on your horse if you're trying to defend him. He can take anyone deep and win on any route.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Now T.J. Yeldon, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustment.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 85 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. It's up and good, 15-0 here in the first quarter. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Now it's a former Washington State running back. It's Chris Ivory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They keep it with Yeldon on first down. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. His throw incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him 7 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
3rd down now following the completed pass. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. On 3rd down, Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to look deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. On the return, this is Denard Robinson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Yeah, and he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll come out in the pistol. They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He loses 4, and it brings up 4. So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Fielded at the 20. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
It's caught right side. It turns. 22 yards on the pickup there. And the Jags are going to have a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
The tight end changing his position. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now Wilson back into his end zone. It's caught outright by Graham. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Yards is the distance on the punt there. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And now they're in the hurry-up. From midfield, here's Bortles. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
On 3rd down, Yeldon. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as
And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
On first down, Bortles. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Second down following the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They'll get 32 yards there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On the ground, it's Michael. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Call it a gain of 1 yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. 1st and goal here from the 2. They'll run it here with Michael. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And from the 3 now, it's 2nd and goal. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Now 3rd down, hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. Green with a catch left side. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Now Bortles throwing on second down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it's 3rd and 4. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there, Bortles to Robinson. 56 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to...
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Trying to lay one up deep. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. To throw is Wilson. He's got time. He's going to let it go again. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now out come the Jags. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And quickly, they get to the line. Throwing now is Bortles. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's brought down. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it'll give the Jags a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. He finds Hurns left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down. Bengals now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. He'll buy some time right. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Here's Bortles to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. That'll bring up second down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On the carry, Michael. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
On third down, Wilson. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Again, it's Yeldon. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. And leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. Past the 20. And all the way down to the 5. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll throw it. Bortles. A dump off for Ivory. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
On second down, here's Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Bortles now on third and goal. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Bortles, got to have this one. Eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They come out here in the eye. Now Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. They'll come out in the pistol. From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? A gain of 32 that time.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place, but what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Julius Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars get a score closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now Wilson on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Seattle first. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
In motion goes Huff. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Give him 11 on the gain there, and that'll be good for a Seattle first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And a give this time to the tailback. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They go play fake to Michael. Now Wilson. He sets to fire deep. Josh Huff, the intended target, and that brings up 4th down.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright. And they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Now Bortles. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Wilson wants to throw it. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
On second down, Wilson. That is caught at the 7. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jimmy Graham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Here's Robinson. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Jaguars' offense now heads back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.